I know people who have their life savings in banks, and they're terrified that the money will be devalued. They're terrified that one day they'll wake up. You know, I remember when I was young and I went to Europe. First time I was 20, 18. And I went to France, and I was poor, just a student. And there were NFs, new francs, and francs. I didn't know the difference, but one bill was smaller than the other. And apparently Italy had the same thing. The various sizes of the paper currency had different values. So Italian, by the way. The bigger the paper, the larger the value. It was crazy. But the new franc, old franc thing intrigued me, and I found out that France had revalued their currency 10-1. So that if you own a $10 bill today, they would be known as 10 old dollars. And the new Obama dollars, that would be worth $1. One new dollar, one ND. If you have a $100 bill today, it would become worth the equivalent of $10. Do you understand that? It'd be 100 new Obamas would be the equivalent. 10 new Obamas would be equal to one old U.S. $100 bill. You're saying this can't happen with Timothy Geithner, who can't even pay his own mortgage? A man who is a laughingstock in the financial world is used as a delivery boy? You're telling me he couldn't let this happen? What does he know? What does he do? He doesn't draw any policy. The policy is directed by the money changers in Austria and the money changers in our own nation, like George Soros. They're the ones who will determine whether or not you wake up one day and need a wheelbarrow of paper money to buy a loaf of bread, as happened to Germany after World War I. You say it can't happen here? Why can't it happen here? You have no basis for your currency. So why can't it happen here? The only way the dollar can have value again is for this jerk in the White House to be called on the carpet by his own party, told that he can't do this anymore, and the Democrats announced the spending is over. All stimulus is over. 20% of the workforce in the federal government is being laid off. Did you see that story of people in the government who are on homework? They're working at home, who are spending tens of millions of dollars on travel, even though they were assigned to work out of their houses. Do you have any idea the corruption under the Obama administration? Have you any idea that the people who vote for him are dumb idiots who don't even understand that this man is the most corrupt president in American history? Forget the word socialist. Forget the word communist. Forget all those words. Just use the C word, corruption. Change communist for corruption. The most corrupt administration in American history. I don't think that Romney is doing a good enough job of pointing this out. He does it in drips and starts. He talks about Solyndra, a story a year old. No one even knows what it is anymore, and they backfire it on him. Instead of getting up there and speaking like a man, instead of like Weekney, Governor Weekney should get up and stop it and just say this is the most corrupt administration in American history. Here are the 5 reasons why. One point after the other. Unless he does that, he's not going to win. And by the way, even if he wins, do you think that Romney is going to save America? Do you have faith that the Republicans who busted us out before under Bush are going to do anything different now? I mean, let's be clear here. Suddenly the Republicans are the saviors on a white horse? The very gang that busted us out before under Bush the Bumbler are going to come back and save us again? I don't think so. And do you think Romney's going to be able to rein them in? I don't think so, which is why most Americans have such a detestation for both parties, which is why most Americans identify with neither party, because they understand that the parties are in it only for their own self-gain, that the parties are not in it for America. Where is America's party? There was a hope for a while. It was called the Tea Party, with fangs and claws, and ripped the Tea Party to shreds in Hollywood and the media. There is no longer a Tea Party presence in the United States of America. Make no mistake about it, the people still exist, and the people might or might not vote. But the idea of the Tea Parties, the real Americans getting together again, is more or less over. And the reason is because they're afraid of the unions, they're afraid of the Congressional Black Caucus and their threats, and they're afraid of the government agents who were taking pictures of their cars, license plates, every time they went to a meeting. That's the Venezuela you're living in. That's the true nation that we are facing.